In the city of Alto do Vale lived Gabriel, a 23-year-old young man, intelligent, creative, full of ideas and plans, but with a silent problem he didn't even notice. Gabriel thought time would wait for him. He always said, "I'll take care of that later. This isn't the right time. I'll start next week." He had talent for music, for business, for design, but he spent his afternoons scrolling through social media, diving into short videos, and leaving with the feeling that he had done nothing. He watched opportunities go by as if sitting in the stands, applauding other people's lives while his own stayed on pause. His parents talked to him, his friends encouraged him. Even a teacher once said, "Gabriel, you have a rare light, but what are you waiting for to stop wasting it?" And he always smiled without giving it much importance, because he believed he had time to figure things out, time to start, time to do things differently. But the time we think we have is exactly what life takes from us without warning. And Gabriel only realized that on the day he lost the one person who believed in him, even when he doubted everything. That Friday, the sky over Alto do Vale was cloudy. But inside Gabriel's house, it was as if everything had gone dark. At 3:34 p.m., his phone buzzed with a message from his aunt. But before he could respond, the phone rang. Her voice came through broken, shaky. Gabriel's grandfather had passed away. Heart attack, sudden, silent. Gabriel froze. His chest tightened, as if someone had pulled the ground out from under him. His grandfather, the only person who had always truly believed in him. The only one who, even when Gabriel gave up halfway, would say, "You have a light, Gabriel. You just need to stop wasting it." He was the one who defended Gabriel when others said he was throwing his life away. He was the one who bought his first guitar, who told him he could be anything. He was the one who saw his potential the most, and the one who warned him the most about time. Gabriel remembered that the day before, his grandfather had sent a simple message. "Come have coffee. I bought warm bread, the kind you like." Gabriel saw the message and didn't reply. He remembered the last family dinner just a few days earlier. Everyone was at the table. He, as usual, had the plate in one hand and the phone in the other, laughing at some random video while his grandfather looked at him and quietly said, "Son, you're here, but you're not really here. Turn off that phone. The time we don't live together doesn't come back." Gabriel didn't respond. He didn't even look up. He finished eating, eyes on the screen, as if that was more urgent than the love sitting right beside him. And now, time had run out. There was no more coffee, no more warm bread, no more second chance. Gabriel cried in silence, remembering so many things his grandfather used to say. Time doesn't scream, Gabriel. It keeps going, and when you realize it, it's already taken your life with it. Don't wait to be ready to live. Time doesn't wait for anyone. We lose life 1 minute at a time, thinking we still have plenty. And now, all those phrases pounded inside him as if they had been written with fire. Sitting on the edge of his bed, with the phone turned face down, the room dark and his chest hollow, Gabriel whispered, "I thought I would have time." And right there, he understood. The realization hit him with the most painful sound in the world, the silence of someone who will never be able to answer again. In the days following the funeral, Gabriel was no longer the same, but it wasn't a sudden change. It was as if something inside him had woken up and started to see everything with new eyes. He began observing his own habits, realized he had been living on autopilot, waking up, scrolling his phone, eating without tasting, speaking without listening, breathing without being present. He started thinking about his parents, how they were still good to him, even when he hadn't been giving much in return. He thought about his little brother, 5 years old, full of energy, eager to play, to show his drawings, to tell stories from school. But Gabriel barely looked at him. He always said, "Not, now we'll do it later." And how many important things had he already missed with that later? It was there, in the middle of that silence filled with regret, that he made a decision. He would no longer waste his life. The pain of losing his grandfather had taught him the hardest way, that the most precious thing we have in this life is time, not money, not likes, not speed, but time, because it's the only thing that once it's gone, never comes back. As the days passed, Gabriel decided he would no longer waste what he had most precious. He would use his time in the best way possible. He would no longer be a spectator in his own life. He would live with presence, with intention, with purpose. He started working out every day, learned how to prepare his own meals, began helping his mother with chores, without her needing to ask, and more than that. He began picking up and dropping off his little brother at school, the same brother his mother used to beg him to help with, and he'd always say, "I can't right now, I'm busy." Now he went gladly, and always made sure to take the dog along. Every walk was a celebration. His brother smiled like they were heading to an amusement park. The school was a 15-minute walk away, but those walks felt magical. Gabriel listened to stories he had never heard before, saw drawings, held his brother's hand, and sometimes he thought, how many memories did I miss, thinking I didn't have time. He also started studying, seriously with focus, for something he had always dreamed of, medicine. It was his biggest dream, but also the most postponed. He always thought it wasn't for him, or that he needed way more time to prepare. But then he remembered the phrase his grandfather used to say, "You can be whatever you want, Gabriel, as long as you don't waste your time." And that phrase became his compass. Day by day, he grew more grounded. What used to be procrastination became action. What used to be distraction became choice. What used to be routine became life. These days, which once felt all the same, now felt like they had 100 hours, from all the good things he was doing, from all that he was feeling, from how deeply he was living. His parents noticed, and they started treating him differently, with more affection, more pride, more admiration. Gabriel had become a new person, inside and out, and with time, the weight of guilt turned into love. The remorse gave way to gratitude. The pain in silence began to settle. Until, on a regular night, Gabriel had a dream. But it wasn't just any dream. It felt real, as if it were truly happening. He and his grandfather were sitting on a wooden bench in a beautiful square in front of a blooming garden. The sky was golden, and the breeze was soft like an embrace. His grandfather wore light-colored clothes, and his face carried the deepest peace anyone could ever transmit. It was as if there were no more weight, no more time, no more pain. And he said, with his usual calm voice, "You're doing very well, my son. I'm so happy where I am, and proud of you. And you know what I've discovered here, that God only wants one thing from us, that we give our best. That's it. And you're doing just that. Keep going." Gabriel woke up with his eyes full of tears, but it wasn't sadness, it was peace, it was presence, it was the certainty that now he was living the way his grandfather always knew he could. Gabriel spent 2 years studying with discipline and living each day with more awareness. Even when he did almost the same things, everything felt different, because now he was present. Every breakfast with his mom, every task at home, every walk to school with his brother, it all had meaning, and that's how, living with intention, he passed in second place for medical school at the Federal University, earning a spot in his very own hometown. Today, 15 years later, Gabriel is one of the most respected doctors in the country. He also became a speaker and has helped thousands of people understand something that completely transformed his life. Don't waste your time. Live the present moment as if it were the most important one of your life, because, as he often says, it is. I hope this story touched your heart, and that you never forget. The present moment is the only one we truly have. Don't waste your time on things that don't move you forward. Appreciate your family, hug more, be more present, live in a way that makes today worth remembering, and always remember what Gabriel's grandfather used to say: God doesn't want you to be perfect. He just wants you to give your best, with what you have, exactly where you are. And when you do that, you'll feel it. You'll know you're on the right path. It's never too late to change, and if this story reached you, it wasn't by accident. It came to remind you of what truly matters. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Here, you'll always find stories that warm the soul and awaken truths that had been sleeping inside you. See you in the next video.